Good evening and welcome, good evening and welcome to the Planning Commission meeting of September 1st, 2009. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Samut. Here. Commissioner Mishra.
Here.
Vice Chair Chase.
Very good. Present.
Chair Johnson.
Present.
Commissioner Biasotti.
Here.
Commissioner Peterson.
Present.
And Commissioner Marshall should be on his way.
Thank you. And Commissioner Biasotti will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And the next item would be communications from our staff.
Just the usual that you could see the e-packet online at sanbruno.ca.gov under the community development section, and all the agenda as well as the minutes and staff reports are available there.
Okay. Thank you. And prior to, wanted just basically to remind folks to please turn off your cell phones for the remainder of the meeting. And thank you. And for the remainder of the meeting, and also if we can have a motion to for the minutes of the previous meeting.
Through the chair, I'd like to move the commission approve the minutes with some minor typos that I mentioned to staff.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Commissioner, Chair, I abstain since I wasn't here last.
Was an extension? Okay. Also, the next item is for items that are not on the agenda. So if you have an item that you'd like to bring up, this is the time to do so. And no one coming forward. Next item would be any conflict of interest from the commissioners. If there's no conflict of interest, we'll move on to public hearings. The first item on the agenda is 1900 Monterey Drive. It's a request for conditional use permit to add 2 antennas to an existing wireless telecommunications facility within a residential zoning district for sections 12.220 of the San Bruno zoning ordinance. Staff report, please.
Thank you and good evening. As stated, the applicant has applied for a use permit to expand an existing cellular facility within a residential zoning district. The cellular site itself is located on the corner of Sneath Lane and Skyline Boulevard, and the associated equipment enclosure is located about 5 to 10 feet south of the existing cell site. Tonight, the applicant is proposing to modify the existing cell site by adding 2 additional antennas and adding the associated equipment to the existing equipment enclosure area. The applicant will be incorporating a stealth design, therefore the 2 new antennas and the 2 existing antennas will be completely screened from public view. Additionally, the associated equipment that's added will also be screened by an existing chain link fence that's 6 feet high, and that also incorporates green slats, which will blend in with the existing environment. The Architectural Review Committee did review this project and forwarded it on to the Planning Commission with a positive recommendation. Staff did receive 1 comment from a concerned neighbor, and they were really concerned with the expansions that have taken place at the Church of the Highlands. They stated that they didn't support any expansion of any kind at the site. Additionally, they stated that the cellular facility would affect their current view. Staff stated that the proposal is meeting all zoning code requirements, and additionally, staff conducted a site inspection and verified that the cellular site would not be visible from their residence. With that, staff supports the proposal and finds that the new enclosure would screen the antennas, which greatly improves the appearance of the site, and therefore recommends that the Planning Commission approve use permit 09-001 based on findings of fact 1 through 6 and conditions of approval 1 through 10. I'm available for any questions.
Does the Commission have any questions for staff?
Through the chair.
Commissioner Peterson.
Do you know, is the church in agreement with this application?
The church has signed the application, so they are in agreement
Oh,
with
they
it.
did?
Yes.
Oh, thank you very much.
Any other questions? Thank you. Is there anyone, with the applicant, please? If an applicant, please step to the podium and describe your project, please.
I'm Elizabeth Rudnick, and I'm here on behalf of AT&T to request a modification to the use permit to upgrade our facility. We're adding 2 antennas, and we already had 2 antennas existing at the site, so we've worked with staff and with an architect to try and come up with a design that would be compatible. And we think we've done that. The antennas will be inside of a design which resembles a steeple, and it's part of the sign, and we think it's a good application, and there should be no change in the visibility. I mean, other than the new design, you will not be able to see the antennas, and the equipment that we're adding on the ground is within our leased space, and so we think we've done a good job of camouflaging the equipment.
Good. Thank you. Are there any questions for the applicant?
Through the chair.
Commissioner
Will
Chase.
the new antennas, will they be any more powerful? Will the reception be, I assume the reason for this is, to get better reception. So you're adding 2 to the existing 2, or just taking the other 2 out and putting in 2 more powerful ones?
No, we're there will be a total of 4, 2 new ones, and what it has to do with is capacity. Along Monterey Boulevard and Skyline, that we don't have enough capacity, and we're looking for a 1-year growth period. So that means we wouldn't be back to the city of San Bruno to improve at this site for at least 18 months. And it's so that people's calls don't drop, so that they don't get pushed off when using other features of the telephone. And it's a population increase and a traffic increase in that area.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional questions? Thank you. Let me have a seat. Thank you. Is there anyone else from the public who wishes to speak on this item? Hearing none, we'll now close the public hearing and bring it back to commission discussion.
Through the chair.
Commissioner Chase.
I'll make a motion that we approve use permit 09-001 based on findings of fact 1 through 6 and conditions of approval 1 through 10.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And also, please know that there is a 10-day process for no action or activity on this project. You're welcome. And the next item of business is 123 Poplar Avenue. It's a request for a use permit to allow the construction of an addition that would result in a floor area above the .55 guidelines. It's .76, and it's per section 12-200.030.B2 of the San Bruno Municipal Code. Staff report, please.
Thank you. As stated, the applicant has applied for a use permit to expand the existing residence that would exceed the maximum permitted floor area ratio. The site is located on Poplar Avenue and is situated on a 2,500 square foot lot and is developed with a 2-story San Francisco style single family dwelling. The first story contains a large 1-car garage and 1 bedroom, and the second story contains 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. The project involves an addition to the rear of the existing dwelling and a first floor remodel. On the first floor, the bedroom will be expanded and a new bathroom and television room are proposed. The second floor expansion includes a 177 square foot bathroom. The addition does result in an FAR of .76. However, when comparing this single family dwelling to other San Francisco style homes situated on 2,500 square foot lots, this is pretty typical for the neighborhood. On page 4 within the staff report, there's also an FAR chart comparing 2,500 square foot lots to one another, and this falls right pretty much in between the average FAR. The Architectural Review Committee did review this project and requested that a condition of approval be added stating that the single-family residence shall only be used as a single-family residence, shall not be used as a two-family dwelling. Staff has since added that condition, which is condition of approval number 6 within your staff report. Architecturally, the addition will continue the existing flat roof design and will utilize wood siding that is consistent with the existing single-family home. Overall, staff supports the project and finds that the addition complements the existing dwelling and the surrounding neighborhood. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission approve use permit 09-018 based on findings of fact 1 through 6 and conditions of approval 1 through 24. I'm available for any questions.
Does anyone have any questions, any of the commissioners for staff?
Through the chair.
Commissioner Mishra?
Matt, I had a question about if you're looking at sheet A2.1. That shows the second floor where there's a new closet to an existing bedroom. I'm a little concerned about that closet. I find it unusable, and I wanted to know if the city had considered allowing them to expand that doorway so that they can better use that closet. I know that there's a window next to it, which is a 48-inch window, and structurally I think it can be moved down. It's a little bit more cost, but or maybe the window, you don't even have to interfere with the window. It could just be expanded a little bit so that the closet is more usable, because right now it doesn't seem like it will be. And instead of causing a change further down the line, while it's in construction and they realize it doesn't fit, I wanted to just address it right now. If there was any concerns about it, I mean, did you, yeah.
If they wanted to expand, I think that would only probably be about a 6-foot expansion or something.
Yeah, I'm talking about a 2-foot expansion, 2 by 3. So
that's something that if it's just a 5 to 10 square foot addition, to something that was approved, that's a minimal one that could be approved at staff level as long as there's no architectural features that are being changed.
Okay, great.
Any additional questions? Okay, thank you. We'll now open the public hearing, and anyone wishing to speak on this particular item, please step to the podium, state your name, and your comments, please. Okay, hearing. Yes. Is this on this particular item, sir? You wish to speak on this particular item?
He's the architect.
Oh, you are the applicant. Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't call the applicant first.
Through the chair.
Yes.
Before he begins, I'd also like to compliment him on turning in sheet A11, which is something that we don't always get with planning application. I think it works well with this to show. It shows the homes adjacent to this home and along the streetscape that really allow you to see how the setback in the rear kind of integrates with the other homes in the neighborhood.
I saw that was good. Thank you. Thank you. Please state your name and a description of your project, please.
Yeah, my name is Sergio Galdames. I am the designer. Yes, I think the only thing we try to do is to take advantage for the space, because in the 5th floor we have only the garage, some room that we can use. That's why we want to remodeling to put a bathroom, and it's connecting with the 2nd floor for the new stair, because the new stair right now is in the kitchen, and we lost almost 50% for the kitchen. There's a small kitchen because the stair is over there. That's why we need to remove and put outside. They have almost 45 setback in the rear. I think it's normal to use 12. And then we connecting the 5th floor with the 2nd floor. That is according with the code. It's one dwelling unit.
Thank you, sir. Do the commissioners have any questions for the applicant? No? Thank you, sir. You may have a seat. Now, is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak on this item? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing and bring it back to Planning Commission discussion.
Through the chair.
Commissioner Peterson.
I'd like to move that the commission approve use permit 9-18 based on findings of fact 1 through 6 and conditions of approval 1 through 24.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. There is a 10-day appeal process before any action or activity can take place on this item. Okay. You're very welcome. The next item on the agenda is 601 Agnes Avenue East. It's a request for a use permit to allow an addition which increases the gross floor area by greater than 50%, which is actually 111% per section 12-200-030B1 of the San Bruno zoning ordinance. Staff report, please.
Thank you. Good evening. The application is for an addition to a single-family home, which is located at the corner of Angus Avenue East and 5th Avenue. A use permit is required in this case because the floor area would increase by 99%. The project does comply with all other development standards of the municipal code. The site is 5,000 square feet, and the existing living space is only 745. They have an attached one-car garage. The project would include the addition of 978 square feet of additional living space. So the total living space would be 1,723 square feet. The one-car garage would remain at 247 square feet. So the living area is below our threshold, which requires a two-car garage. And the resulting floor area ratio would be 0.39, which, as you know, is well below the standard of 0.55. The finished materials would match the existing house, including horizontal siding, shingle roofing, and 1x4 window trim. We do have the color samples available. It includes tan siding, white trim, and brown shingle roofing. The project was heard at the August 13th Architectural Review Committee meeting. At that time, staff recommended and the committee agreed that they should highlight the front porch, the entryway, a little bit more. And so they did receive a positive recommendation with that suggestion. So since that time, the applicant has revised the plans and they've included a new gable roof, emphasizing that front porch area. It had just a very small flat roof, and so it was hard to kind of distinguish where the front door was before. They've also proposed to repaint the existing front door, which is, they said, a good front door, but it will highlight that area a little bit more with a little bit more contrasting color. So staff does support these changes and thinks that will be an improvement to the property. In response to our regular notice that we send to neighbors, we did receive one letter from a neighbor kind of just slightly down the street. He was concerned about parking in the area, and staff did respond to that neighbor and talk a little bit about the fact that the project is within the requirements of the municipal code for parking, that they have the driveway parking available, and also that we don't have the ability to regulate the number of cars that people operate. And we do have the standard condition on this project that the garage be used for the storage of vehicles. And so that neighbor did say that he understood that that's as much as we could do, and there didn't seem to be any other concerns from him. That letter is attached to the back of the staff report. So overall, staff finds that the addition is well integrated into the existing house. It's consistent with the house and the surrounding neighborhood. It would be a big improvement to a modest, relatively small home to accommodate the family's needs and meet the design criteria that we're looking for. So staff recommends approval based on findings 1 through 6 and subject to conditions of approval 1 to 25. So I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Are there any questions for staff? Thank you. We'll now open the public hearing, and if the applicant can please step forward and state your name and a description of your project, please.
Good evening. My name is Alan Galafarin. I am the architect engineer for this project. Mr. and Mrs. Andrade, they own this house for a while. They have 5 children, and so their space is very small. That's what they decided. It's a 2-bedroom house now. They decided to add in the backyard. It's a big lot, 50 by 100, so that's why we decided to expand at the rear yard. And then we did put into consideration all the facts regarding the aesthetic of the project, the compliance with the neighboring in terms of the height requirements and the setback requirements and the color and the type of material that we have to use. So it's pretty much consistent with the neighboring property.
Thank you.
Sure.
Are there any questions of the applicant? Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Is there anyone else from the public that wishes to speak on this item? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing and bring it back for public commission discussion. Hearing no discussion, is there a motion?
Through the chair. Through the chair, motion that we approve use permit 9-0015 based on findings of fact 1 through 6 and conditions of approval 1 through 25.
It's been moved in second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Please note that there is a 10-day appeal process and that there will be no activity or any action on the property. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Okay. Next item.
All right, the first is to remind the commission that the September 15th Planning Commission will be canceled. We had this one tonight instead of having that one. So the next Planning Commission meeting will be on October 20th. We also need to select, since we have a long time between the next Planning Commission, we need to select 2 architectural review committees. So the first would be for September 10th. Do we have any? Commissioner Peterson, Commissioner Biasotti, third volunteer? All right, well, I'll and Commissioner Chase, thank you. The next is for the October 15th. Commissioner Marshall, Commissioner Biasotti,
I'm sorry.
Commissioner Mishra. Thank you all.
I think I can find the time now.
That's all we have.
Okay, thank you. And the next item is Planning Commission discussion. Moving along to the next item, which is adjournment. Meeting has been adjourned.